Hey everyone, this is Tanika Gonzalez, spoken word poet. Whenever I'm online, I'm always listening to Jerry Royce live. You can find Jerry on www.Spreaker.com. Positive Power 21.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to positivepower21.org and Spreaker.com/positivepower21. You're listening to Inspirational Vibes with Sabrina.
Hello, thank you for tuning in. You are listening to Inspirational Vibes with Sabrina, a part of the Jerry Royce Live Network at positivepower21.org. Thank you for listening. On today's podcast, I will be discussing the topic of what winners do to win. This is just a topic that I thought of because in life, there are always going to be wins and losses. It can be whether it's seeking employment, trying to lose weight, trying to motivate yourself to take the next move, to enter a new career, to enter school, or any type of dream that you go after. There are going to be some things that cause you to feel as if you have won the battle, some things that may cause you to feel that you failed. But it is one thing that is always important. We have to maintain the mentality of a winner. I wrote a poem in my book, Poetic Rhythms of My Heart, entitled, I'll Suffer No Defeat. And in that poem, I talk a lot about what it means for us to really have that strong spirit that no matter what comes up against us, we're going to win. Because in life, it takes that commitment, it takes that mentality in order for us to get through certain things. Because there are always going to be some type of obstacle or roadblock, being in the form of some type of financial breakdown or, anything that could cause us to feel like we're not going to meet that goal or that dream or that objective that we have set for ourselves. But we have to be determined that no matter what happens, we still will not be defeated. Above all the obstacles that attempt to take over me, in the midst of the battles of war, I shall fear no evil or any attempts for your defeat. Through it all, I know that's what you're looking for. Obviously, you didn't know that my track record's 5-0. Think you are going to mark my first defeat? But of course, I failed to think so. I took my heart out of my own chest and mended it back together again. Then molded myself a bulletproof vest to be able to bear it and remain. Took my eyes and removed the bloodshot after seeing something I couldn't bear to see. But this is the wrong time to get sidetracked, for my mission is still incomplete. Bursting out the shackles that you bound around my feet, proving myself to you because you thought I would have melted from the heat. Oiled all my joints and gave them all another run. Because when I claim the victory yet again, I'm going to have some fun. I control what happens to me in a major way, a major part in my own destiny. You can say that I'm the captain of my soul. That has a ring to it that's mighty sweet. One more run in with you, and I know that I'll be through. Because when you are outlandishly near flat on your back, I've little else to do. Today you came running to me, waving a big white flag, notifying me of your surrender. So I took a bow and placed a stake in the earth, and the judge declared me the winner. No matter what happens, I must take control. I know it's up to me. Above all the obstacles that I battle with, I'll suffer no defeat. And that is a poem, again, shared in my book, Poetic Rhythms of My Heart. And I use that as the backdrop for today's podcast on what winners do to win. First of all, I think that all winners must prepare and plan. In order for you to be successful at anything, we always need to start off with a plan. How are we going to get the ball rolling? How are we going to get the steps accomplished that we need to accomplish whatever goal or mission that we're going after? Be it to start a new business, you always start with a business plan. And even teachers in the classroom, they always start off with lesson plans for the week. I'm very mindful of a lot of teachers that come to my mind, like my dear cousin April Brown, Miss Kathleen Myers, and so many others who have, entered the world of teaching. And I just think about all of the planning that it takes to come up with lessons for the entire week for all of their students. And even in those plans, we have to maintain a level of flexibility. And no matter what our course is in life, no matter what dreams or what goals we're trying to accomplish, there's always going to be something that we may have to bend on. Things may not go according to our plans. So even though we need to have them, we also need to be mindful that we have to be flexible and we have to make amendments and adjustments as we go along. You may see that something isn't quite working, or if you decided to use one facility, for example, for an event, and they may go up on the price on you, or someone may bump you off of the list before you get to sign the contract. So you need to have other options along the way, and you need to be willing to be flexible. Sometimes it may be in the form of a resource that you need that didn't come through. So in all those things, as we plan things out, we also have to have adjustments and think of other things along the way. I remember my mother, when I was growing up, she always used to use the phrase, use your head for more than a hat rack, and never let someone else beat you thinking. Those are just things that, I always go back and think about during life, because it is so true that if we think through things, we can often come up with different solutions for problems that we face. And as we plan, we can think about different things that may work for us. We can use other things as a template. That's always a good idea also. So many times the dreams or the missions or the goals that we have, other people have done similar things. So we need to possibly use those things as a guide or a template in order for us to get what we need to be done. Even say, for example, when we open up Microsoft Word, if you go to create a blank document, sometimes you may see the screen come up with templates for what you are trying to do. I remember they used to have a little paperclip icon that used to pop up in the corner of the page as you were typing, and it would say, looks like you're typing a letter, or looks like you're typing a resume, for example. So those types of things would help guide you through that process. So a lot of times the things that you're trying to do, someone else may have done something similar or something that can help you to develop your plan. So never be afraid to use those templates or those other resources that may help you. Another thing that is important for us to do if we really want to be a true winner is to stay focused. I have a friend, Desmond Pringle. He owns the business Gardenia's Custom Cakes and Designs. And when I say that he is a gifted artist, he really is. And it is amazing to me. We met at the University of South Carolina, my very first orientation in the Opportunity Scholars Program. He was one of the first persons I met, and we just took a liking to each other because we were so country cool and bubbly. We knew that we would be a good fit for each other throughout, and he's still one of my best male friends in the entire world. And he has this business, and when we were even in college, he used to draw posters for us. And I remember when I pledged, he drew me a Greek poster, and he incorporated my line name in it. Shout out to Alpha Kappa Alpha, Fall 99, all of my lovely line sisters. But Desmond created a poster for almost all of us. And through that particular project that he took on for us, I can see how creative he was and how gifted he was as an artist. He was not an art major. He was a business major, majoring in, I think, marketing and management. But he had a love for drawing. And it really came out in those, posters that he created for us. So he went on to finish at USC. And then he went on to get his master's. But after all of that, he went on to culinary school because he grew up, with his grandmother who always taught him how to cook, and his grandfather, they would barbecue pork, and his grandmother, he talked about how she could create all kinds of dishes. So he always had an interest in cooking and preparing food as well. So he went on to culinary school in Atlanta, and he did a very great job. And he said of all of the cooking, of all of the demonstrations, of all of the things that he prepared, what he liked to do most in the kitchen was bake. And I found that very interesting. So he incorporated that love for art into his baking, because every cake that he baked for someone else, after he developed his business, he draws out a sketch first so you can see it, so you can feel the vision, so you can be sure that you're liking this thing that he's going to create for you later, because it is imperative. So that is a part of the planning, and that is a part of, just using his creativity. But what I always took the most out of his journey and his experience was how focused he remained. That's something that winners must do. Stay focused. When I tell you that Desmond Pringle has called me more times than I can count about things like recipes, uploading his recipes, making certain changes, everything about him goes back to his business. He had his plan. He knows that he wants to open a storefront property. He knows the type of cupcakes he want to bake. When the holidays come around, he's already focused on what type of treats that he's going to focus on for that period. So it just amazes me how focused he remains. And no matter what comes up, because whenever you own a business, there's going to always be some type of setback. He always adjusts accordingly. If this thing doesn't work out, he tries this. But he always stays focused on his dream. And that dream is to become a successful business owner, leaving his mark. And he's doing so very well with it. You know, so many people around the Midlands and around the state of South Carolina, even into Georgia, because like I said, he went to school in Atlanta, and he also has done extensive work in Augusta and also some in North Carolina, you know, and he is just able to ship his product to these different places, make contacts with his different clientele, keep himself abreast of things that are going on in the community that can benefit him. And it just amazes me how focused he remains. And talking about making an adjustment a few years ago, you know, just to supplement his income as his business was growing, he took on a teaching job at one of our local high schools, and he started a culinary program for them. And even though, you know, he didn't stay in that position very long, it still just shows us, you know, as we go through, as we plan, as we live out our dreams, as we focus on that prize that we're trying to win, we may have to make adjustments along the way, but we always want to stay the course. He came back to his original love, which is operating his business. And I wish him much continued success with Gardenia's custom cakes. And he's doing very well. Another thing that I encourage people to do is develop a sense of hunger. This is something that you have to have whenever you set out for any goal or anything that you're trying to accomplish. It reminds me of my friend SK. He always talks about the fact that this is what flourishers do. You know, even when he doesn't feel like going to the gym, even when he has a setback in the form of, you know, hurting his leg or his ankle, you know, that I think he has done recently, he still does all that he can to stay focused on his prize or his goal of losing weight, becoming more fit, becoming more active, and he's doing very well with that. You know, as others of us, you know, may sit around and say, oh, well, I'm not going to work out today. You can best believe that SK is in somebody's gym accomplishing that goal. And he now, you know, he has his own business endeavors that he's launching. I think that he's trying to write a book, and he also has an internet site where he helps motivate and inspire those to continue to live out their dreams and to continue to have the spirit of flourishing as we go through life. And this is something that winners do, just developing that sense of hunger, knowing that we're going to stay committed and we're going to go after those things that we have set out to do. Another thing that winners do successfully is boldly asking for help and seeking out resources. Very few times are we able to accomplish our dreams by ourselves. Very few times it works that way. I remember I used to work with a lady named Mrs. Smalls at Beta Tech. You know, we used to teach at a career school there. And Ms. Smalls, she was a grant writer, and I really wish that I could come into contact with her, because that is definitely something that I want to get into, because I enjoy writing. And I would just really love the opportunity to write a grant for someone. And I want to get some training from her. But Ms. Smalls really knew what it meant to go after resources. If there was a business or if there was a building that she was seeking, or some type of non-profit, because she had a few charities that she started, She knew how to go after those resources that can help make that dream or that goal come true for her. She was very good at that. She would write the grant herself, and then she would also help others write grants for themselves, her churches, her friends, who may be having businesses that they were going after. She was very good at creating those things. So she knew how to seek help and seek out those resources that can help you. Say, for example, if you're striving to be a pharmacist, contact your local pharmacy associations to see whether they have some type of mentoring programs. Even if you have a convicted past, if you have some type of criminal record, there are ways that you can get those things expunged. I am a fan of Judge Mathis, and at the end of his shows, a lot of times he'll talk about, the fact that if you want to get things expunged off your record, you can go to his website. I think it's judgemathis.com, and he has a link on there that would help guide you through that. So it is very important for us, no matter what it is, to seek those resources that are available that can help you. For business owners, and those who are trying to set up businesses, you have things like your local business organizations that may help you, and they'll be different depending on the area that you're in, but there are usually some type of assistance programs out there that can help you accomplish those goals and those dreams. So you want to network with those resources and look for them. Start with a Google search and go from there, and talk to others who you think may have some type of experience with what you're dealing with. If you know someone who's already a pharmacist and your dream is to become a pharmacist, talk to them about the path that they chose, the lessons that they studied in school. And this is especially for students who may still be in school, Find out what type of subjects that they taught. That they, took while they were in school to help them prepare for a pharmacy career. So no matter what it is, seek out help, seek out resources that may help you, whether it's a physical resource, financial resource, or a person that can help you accomplish what you do. And in order to be successful, in order to win, those are things that you have to keep in mind. Also, piggyback on seeking resources, especially human resources, you need to know how to leverage your strengths and leverage the strength of others working with you. For example, if you are trying to start a marketing business where you help others market their dreams, and Bianca comes to mind, my Sarah. Bianca, she has her own marketing firm, a PR firm, where she goes in and help clientele, whether it is an interview that they have coming up or an award show or just whatever the case is. She helps her clients prepare for that particular goal or objective that they have coming forth. So she knows what her strengths are. She knows what it means to help get those strengths out of others as well. So as she has her marketing firm set up, she knows how to make contact with other people and use those people to help build on her dreams and her experiences. So know what you're good at. For her, she knows that she is good at fostering relationship with other people, because in order to promote them, in order to, publicly help them relate as they're going through or whatever that goal is, she knows that she has to have good people skills. So that is a strength of hers. So she's able to leverage on that strength to help her to be a successful PR owner. And also use those strengths of others. I think of managers all the time who have to do that. On the job front, you may have managers who allow you to do certain tasks and allow others on your team or in your department or in your area to do other things, because they know what you're good at and they know what the strengths of other people may be. Even as we serve on committees and things of that nature, you need to know what each person brings to that table so that you all can work together to be successful in meeting whatever goal or whatever committee that is. I remember when I was actively involved in the Theta Gamma chapter, I used to love community service, and I still love community service. But so I looked forward to being on community service committees as well as on social committees because I knew that I enjoyed working for and with other people. So those were some of the things that I chose to do because, again, I knew what my strength was. I knew what my interests were. And I knew that by being on these committees, I can help them meet the goals and accomplishments that they were trying to achieve. So know yourself, know who you are, and know those people in your network who can help you achieve the things that you're trying to achieve. That is very important in becoming a successful winner and having that spirit of winning. Be willing to self-promote yourself if you want to be a winner. My dear friend, Miss Louise Smith, she's an artist. She's a songstress. She is a musician because she plays the piano. She's an author. She owns a Writer Society club. She owns a publication company. She and her husband own a online radio station. So she has, and her company is Kingdom Builders Publications, and she is very good at self-promoting herself. She very so often you will see her post things on the internet, on our Facebook pages about events that she's having, about anniversaries that may be coming up for her business. And she knows how to create these different marketing tools, these different announcements, and these different things of that nature that just shows what she's doing and helps get the word out there about what she's doing. So she's very good at self-promoting. And no matter what we're trying to do, whatever goal or mission that we're trying to accomplish, we're going to have to self-promote ourselves. And I had to train myself that, again, like I wrote a book last year, a poetry book, but I have discovered through the process or, after it has been released and published and through Kingdom Builders Publications, I am not the best at self-promoting myself all of the time. So many times I've probably had the opportunity to talk to someone or let someone know who I was talking to that I am an author, that I have this book, or blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I don't take hold of those opportunities. So in order for us to really maximize success, in order for us to really win at what we're trying to do, if it is selling that product or getting the word out, we have to be willing to self-promote. I have another friend, Ashley. Ashley is very good. She owns, she's a part of the It Works franchise. And Ashley posts about, her, Ashley Blair is her last name. She posts about her It Works business very often because as you keep people in mind, about what you're doing, it can help radiate your success. Another friend of mine, Celicia Moses, she's a Mary Kay director, and I don't know what level she's on now because she has been very successful over the last, probably maybe even a decade. I don't know how long, but she has really excelled in it, and she's taken a lot of other people under her wings who have also added to her success. But she also self-promotes her business very often just to remind people about what she does. She always has business cards on her. She's prepared and determined to help people know or to remind people about what it is that she does. And I also do resume writing for people. And ever so often, like a couple of times a week, I'll post about the fact that, I just completed a resume for someone. I'm praying for their success. And, another so-and-so number more, have piqued interest in me or sent requests for more information about my services. And that keeps people aware of the fact that I do resume writing. And so far that has been very successful for me because I have received a lot of leads lately from past clients and friends who know that I do that on as a part of my business. So self-promotion is key. also for us to maintain success and to have that spirit of winning. Winners also have to take risk. A good friend of mine comes to mind, Willis Ham. Willis Ham, I'm not sure where he used to work before, but he always had a love for being a trainer, or he developed an interest in being a personal trainer, fitness trainer. And he used to play football for us at the University of South Carolina, and it was always in him to be athletic. So he took the risk of stopping what he was doing to fully go into owning and operating his own fitness facility. And he does so in Columbia, South Carolina. And he has gained a lot of, support through it. And he is becoming more and more successful. Another one, Michael, who, he started, under him and under our friend Dustin. They also have a fitness facility also, and Speed U. And they took the risk. They all took the risk of stopping what they were doing, coming off of the 9-to-5s that they once had, and going into fully operating their own personal business. Talk about a lot of risk. Talk about a lot of faith required to make such moves. So oftentimes we know that we're not in the ideal job for us. We know that we may be stressed out in what we're doing. But how many people are willing to take that bold of a risk? Of course, first you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what plan you're going to follow, or if this particular thing doesn't work, what stream of income you are still going to make. But it is amazing what you can accomplish when you take such risk or be willing to do so. So always keep that in mind, that in order to really accomplish goals, it always takes some level of risk. It is a risk to even ask people for help. But those types of things are necessary in order for you to be successful and in order for you to win in the end. There are always going to be some risk involved. I remember when I was an internal auditor, and I still have my credentials for that. I still, but I just don't work full time in it anymore. But in audit, we always did risk assessment planning. In order for us to know what audit had the highest priority, we would do an assessment plan or a risk assessment or a risk analysis to see which one had the top priority. So we would look at things like the impact if this particular thing was to get exposed, or what it would mean for us financially if something happened, in this particular area. So there are a number of objectives that we would look at, but we always knew that each thing had their own risk attached to it. So in order for us to move forward, in order for us to keep a clean slate, and in order for us to keep, because I was at Millens Technical College, so in order for us to keep our good standing, in order for us to, keep our accreditation, and I remember Dr. Sonny White, he was the president at the time, and he would be like, Sabrina, your job is just to keep us out of the newspaper, or if we get in the newspaper, let it be something good. So I had to keep in mind what the risks were about, all of the different activities that were going on in the school, and just to try to keep us afloat and really prospering in that area. So be willing to take risk and know that it is okay to do so. Keep the faith. In order for us to be successful, in order for us to win in achieving different things that we set out for, it takes a level of faith and a winner's attitude. We have to believe in our dreams if no one else does. We have to believe in those goals and objectives that we have set. If we are the loudest and biggest cheerleaders, we have to do it for ourselves. We have to keep that faith. Know that if someone else has done it before, you can do it too. Or if no one has accomplished it yet, you can be the first. So no matter what it is that you're going after, in order for us to really win, in order for us to really encompass that goal or that mission that we have set, we have to keep the faith. Even in the Bible, the God talks about the fact that he awards those who keep the faith. We look at the story of Abraham. He was blessed later on because he kept the faith. When his wife was barren, even at the age of, I think, 98 years old, they had their first child. So keep the faith. You don't never know when God is going to bless you. You never know when that thing is going to come into fruition that you're trying to accomplish. But if you keep the faith and keep working at it, you will amaze yourself what dream can come true. I started writing poetry when I was in probably middle school, and I didn't write poetry, every day since then, because would have been in the 90s, but I never gave up that desire for it. I never gave up that appreciation for poetry. But it wasn't until last year in 2014 that I finally published. But I kept the faith that it could happen. I kept believing that it could happen. Every day I didn't believe, but the faith never completely left me. So no matter what goal or mission that you have, you need to know that you have to keep the faith and keep believing that you can make those things happen and those things can come true for you. And faith will be rewarded. It may not be next month or next quarter or this year that you're in, but if you keep the faith and keep at it, you'll be surprised at the dreams that can come true. And then lastly, in order for you to win, you must also take care of yourself. My friends Rob Powell and Kim Johnson come to mind. They're both Zumba instructors. And what I like about them, because I know a lot of Zumba instructors, but they have health ailments too. But they never let those things stop them. In fact, if you would see them lead a class, you would never know the conditions that they have unless they told you. And I won't spell out what those were because I don't know how much, they tell of them. But it amazed me when they told me what they were. And it amazed me how I see them still going strong, still doing what they need to do. Kim Johnson, she recently had a baby. And it is just amazing how she's able to overcome because she takes care of herself. She works out all of the time. She's an active Zumba instructor. I think she also may lift weights. And Rob Powell, any chance he gets to be a part of a Zumbathon or some type of charitable event, and he conducts his own classes at MUSC Wellness, they amaze me how they're able to take care of themselves. And they're lean, fit people. When you just look at them, you can tell that they really take care of themselves physically. In order for us to win and be successful, we have to have good health. We have to, get past being sick or, even if sickness comes upon us, because it can. And we have to be willing to do what it takes to bounce back. Because at anything, whenever we're trying to win, whenever we're trying to be successful, again, there are going to be roadblocks, stumbling blocks, and that can also come on our body. We have to know what it means to bounce back and to take care of ourselves. And taking care of yourself may mean taking a break. Sometimes people can burden you with their problems so much that you spend all of your wheels taking care of other people. But when we take care of ourselves, sometimes it may be taking a break from being that one who's always helping or assisting or, taking on other people's projects and dreams. It is very good to be supportive. It is very good to help those along the way. I believe that those are the most successful people, those who help others, because when you need help, they'll remember that you were once there for them. But at any given time, it is okay to take a mental holiday, physical holiday, just to take care of yourself. And I know it's harder when we have children or families or people that we take care of. Sometimes those are the hardest cases for us to really take care of ourselves because we're used with putting someone ahead of us, be it your son or your daughter or your ailing parent that you may be taking care of. But it is also essential for you to take care of yourselves. Sometimes try to find a babysitter. Try to find someone else that may look over your mom for a few hours, and just take a break just for you. Taking care of yourselves will help you to last. It'll help you to endure without having mental breakdowns. And ever so often, just do it. Get out and travel. Get out and, develop those hobbies, or, dig back into those hobbies that you had. Those type of things will help us to get along, and it'll also help us to be successful, because as we tarry the course, as we try to meet those goals and objectives, as we go back to that plan that we originally started out with, we're also going to have to be flexible and adjust along the way, and we're going to have to take care of ourselves in order for it to come to fruition. So keep those things in mind. Being a winner requires us to prepare and plan, keep the faith throughout, stay focused on our dreams, be bold enough to ask for help and seek out resources that can help us, leverage your strength and the strengths of others in your network, self-promote, be flexible, take risks, and take care of yourselves. And then the last thing, always remember that even if you lose along the way, let go of those losses. Don't stay there. If you dwell on the things that caused you to trip, if you dwell on the fact, I know it wasn't going to happen. They told me no. I didn't get the loan that I needed. I didn't get the resources that I needed. They can't sing at the program for me. If we dwell on those things, we'll never accomplish that particular goal. Have a plan B, be flexible, and take off with it. Know that a setback is not a denial. A delay is not a denial. We are meant to overcome these things. If you don't believe it, watch these people that are running for presidency now. As they continue to dig up things from their past and dig up things that can hurt them, they have to be able to respond to those things, explain what the case may be, and keep rolling. If they stop there, they would never win that seat that they're looking for. They'll never win that position that they're trying to accomplish. So we have to do the same thing in our lives and in the things that we're seeking after in life. So as losses come, and they will, know that is just a part of the process. Nothing meant having comes very easy often. Sometimes it takes a lot of work, especially for your larger goals that you have. Owning a business, writing a book, starting a nonprofit, or starting this. There are so many people who want to start nonprofits or charities or some types of groups, and they may look at the paperwork involved and say, you know what, that's just too much for me. I don't want to have to go through all of that. Or, it may take 6 months to get to this step. So then you say, you know what, forget it. I'll just count my losses and say, I tried, but I just wasn't successful at it. But if you really want to win, if you really want to be an overcomer and meet that goal or that objective, whatever it is for you, count the losses, move on, and know that you can still win in the end. But we have to keep that mentality. Even when it feels rough and tough and, it's hard in the trenches, keep that fact in mind that real winners never give up. They never quit. So I encourage us to take on these things, remember these things, and as we go through life, apply them to it. No matter what our situation is, going back to school, taking a class, So what if you failed one test? So what if you failed 1 year while you may be in a program? If they didn't kick you out, you still have a chance to make it. And if they kick you out, you can still transfer to another school. Someone will take you. So no matter what it is, always be willing to shake off the dust as you go and know that you can still win in the end. I thank you so much for tuning in this week. I hope that this message brings you hope and inspiration, and always feel inspired. Thank you so much for listening. Again, I'm Sabrina Brown. You can find out more about me at my website, www.ablsandpoetrybooks.com. I thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. Thank you, Jerry, again for this wonderful platform that you provide for us week in and week out. Thank you. God bless, and be encouraged. I'm out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to positivepower21.org and Spreaker.com/positivepower21. You're listening to Inspirational Vibes with Sabrina.